Hey there, fellow hungry travelers. Mark here with Wolters World Eats, and today we're here in Lithuania, and today we're going to talk about 7 Lithuanian treats that you can't miss out on, because there's some really good treats when you're here, and a lot of them you've never seen before in your entire life, so you definitely have to try it when you're here. And the first one, and this is one you'll actually probably see at the airport, you'll see it at bakeries, you'll see it around town, that is chocolates. And chocolates is the tree cake. So if you look up Lithuanian treats, I guarantee the first thing that comes up is chocolates. Like, this is one you have to have. And what's cool is when they make the cake, it's on a spit and it's spinning, and they're like pouring the batter on it while they're doing it, like dabbing it on there, and it makes like a Christmas tree like shape. It's really kind of cool, and it's a hollow cylinder in the middle because they take it off the spit and you break off a piece and eat it. And if you go to the store, you don't have to get the whole cake. You can actually get pieces like that and try it, but it's a sweet cake. It's like crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, but it is definitely a thing you have to have when you're here. My kids loved it when they were here, and I know that there's all kinds of great stories about it, so have that. That's one thing you have to have. Now, my go-to snack when I used to take the bus here in Lithuania, I lived here for 3.5 years, by the way. I used to go back and forth to Vilnius and Klaipeda because I worked in both cities, and I would take the bus, and I always had to have a snack on the way. And there's a thing called Tingonese. Okay, Tingonese, if you look at it, you think, is that like chocolate sausage? Yes, it looks like chocolate sausage. And what it is, it's like crumbled up butter cookies inside, I guess it's not necessarily fudge, but a chocolate roll. And how they roll it up, I swear to God, it looks like it's a sausage, because a lot of times if you're at the Kavines, the like little cafes, they'll have it like still wrapped up in the tin foil, and then they cut it into slices, like thick salami pieces, so you get like this big round wedge, and it's just, or slice I should say, and it's really, really good. And it's one of those things I would take with me every time on the trip, because it was just like, hey, a nice, really tasty treat. But that's one you have to have when you're here. So you're going to be taking the bus. I'm sure at the bus stations there'll be somebody selling it there. You can grab a slice when you're there. Now, the next one I'll talk about is šimtalapis, and I know it's been a long time since I lived in Lithuania, so my words aren't all there, but basically what this is, it's a poppy seed cake, okay? And you'll have it, and the poppy seeds, it's like rolled up into it, and you have the poppy seeds in there, and it's really, really good. Like, that's one you'll see when you're going to have arbatos. And I'm not going to say arbatos is a sweet treat you should have here in Lithuania. I'm going to say arbatos is part of having some of these sweet treats, because they actually love tea here. So you can have some of these cakes at some of these tea houses, okay? Probably not chocolates, but some of the other ones, okay? Now, if you're at a store or a gas station and you see what you think is a candy bar in the frozen foodish kind of section or the cold food kind of section, that is Suralis. And Suralis is basically cheese curd in like a chocolate coating. It'll be different flavors of cheese curd, but it's like wrapped in chocolate, and you have that. And the thing is, they love cheese curd here. And if you're thinking like Wisconsin cheese curds kind of curd, no, think of more of a, like, it's Vashkish Suralis. It's like somewhere between a sour cream and a cheese curd and I guess a cheesecakey kind of consistency inside this chocolate coating. It is so good. Liam and I we just piled those down when we were here together. So that's something you should definitely have for a sweet treat. But I will warn you, once you buy them, you got to eat them right away, because it's a thin chocolate shell on the outside, and it's been kept cold. And even if it's wintertime, your fingers will melt that really quick. So you buy it and eat it. So don't buy like 10 at once. Go buy like 1 or 2 and eat those, then go back inside and get another one, because they're that good. But you don't want to have them too much, because they do kind of melt relatively quickly. So just letting you know that one. Now, speaking of melting kind of stuff, this is the most basic like treat you can have. Like, this is like stuff that was back in the Soviet times kind of things, but honestly, one of my favorite things to have here in Lithuania is just getting a little ice cream cone. But here's the catch. It's not an ice cream cone where they fill it up for you. It's a pre-packaged like joy cone filled with ice cream. It'll be in different flavors. You might have vanilla, you might have just plain cream, you might have it with raisins in it. There's a lot of different versions of it, but for me, just the plain old ice cream in a cone that comes in a bag you open up, it's so Lithuanian, it's so tasty. I mean, they had it all over the world, but for me, that's one of those things you have here. And if you're going to go to Smiltynė, you're going to go to the beaches here or some of the lakes here in Lithuania, you're going to Trakai, they will be selling that. Like where you have your Magnum ice cream bars, they'll have that too. And it's still super cheap, so that's a nice thing there. Now, another kind of cakey kind of treat, which looks kind of like chocolates, but it's totally not chocolates, is skruzdėlinis. I know I'm totally butchering this one, but think of it this way. Think of it's like pastry, like a puff pastry layered and then another layer put on differently, and another layer put on, and they kind of stack it up after it's been done, and then they put honey on top of it. Oh, the honey flavoring makes it so good, but I'm not gonna lie to you, you get so sticky from that it's kind of crazy. So maybe have the extra thing of arbatos to put your fingers in to clean it off, but that is one sweet treat you wanna have when you're here. Now, another thing you might see, whether it's at the bus station or the train station or around at some of the kiosks, are Spurgos. And Spurgos is when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's just a big donut. Well, it's a little bit different than just a donut, because it's a donut that's made with that cheese curd, the varshke in it, so it's a really softer donut, and it is fantastic. And if you get it freshly fried, be careful, it's a little hot, but give it a little time to cool off and then eat it. Oh my God, they're so good. You're gonna have them, but a big old Spurgos, you can't go wrong with. And then the last one I wanna talk about is Kashish Chocolates. Now, hot chocolate is everywhere in the world, and Lithuania does not invent it. It's not something that's super special, whatever. But for me, if you're here in the wintertime and they have Kashish Chocolates, Lithuanian style Kashish Chocolates, you should get it. Because it's not like a mug of Nesquik. Oh, no, 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 no. It's like they took chocolate and melted just the chocolate down, and it's like liquid lava chocolate. It's amazing. It's like the inside of lava cakes. And what's cool is sometimes they'll put hazelnuts in there, sometimes they'll put like paprika in there. Oh, it is so good. I mean, this is one thing my mom was asking, Mark, are you gonna have the Kashish Chocolates when you're there? I'm like, Mom, it's summertime. It's not on the menu right now, but if you can get it, you should get it. And the thing is, there's a lot of other tasty treats that are here, a lot of baked goods you can have that are gonna be nice. I mean, but they're not necessarily on the list. I mean, just having the brown bread here is just amazing by itself, but that's not really a sweet treat, but it is a treat you should have. So I hope this helps you understand some of the sweet treats that you should have when you come to Lithuania, because you're really gonna enjoy it. And if you do go to an Eastern European market, if you're in the US, you might see that Suralis might actually be there, Chocolates might be there, so you can grab some of these things around the world. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say viso gero from here in Lithuania. Or skanos, which is, tastiness, like, bon appetit.